Hi. Usually what I do for the exams in this class, for every single exam, you're going to get a multiple choice matching true false test, just to know if you know the pure facts of the chapter. And then for the final exam, it's more of a discussion type of a final exam. Now, those of you who have not had me before might be freaking out at this point, but please don't. I assure you it's totally reasonable because I'm going to tell you what I'm asking on the final exam. And usually what I do is I wait till the end of the semester, and those who had me for Bio 141 know that I do this. I wait till the end of the semester, and then I give you a week to study for the final. It should be done a week before the final. I give you all of the questions and videos discussing the answers to the questions. I've decided this time it might be better because Bio 142 is a little more difficult. To give you the questions up front as we cross them, as we go across the topic. So this is your first final exam question. You may or may not get this question on your final exam. Please describe the negative feedback of thyroid hormone levels. So if you recall, anything that is controlled by negative feedback, you're going to have a certain range, and whatever the variable is, we're going to keep, here's the range. We want to stay within these brackets, whatever the variable is. If the variable starts to get up near this top little level, the body's going to take steps to make it go down. And if it gets too low, then the body takes steps. So we have like body temperature. If you get too hot, the body will take steps to cool you down. If you get too cool, the body will make you get warmer, right? That's what negative feedback is. And so when we're discussing how to control thyroid hormones, first of all, you have to know how thyroid hormone is released. For the final exam, you do not have to put this all in words. You see how I'm drawing? I express myself better in picture form, and because I'm talking, etc. You can draw, you can write out the steps, you can do whatever you want as long as your answer is correct. So here is your hypothalamus, this V-shaped structure. And we know that this hypothalamus, because we have already had biology 141, is in the brain. And the hypothalamus is going to control the pituitary gland. In particular, what we're looking for here, this pituitary gland that we're talking about, is just the anterior pituitary, which is called the adenohypophysis. Things we already know. Okay, so the anterior pituitary, this part right here, here's the posterior pituitary. What the hypothalamus does is it releases a hormone to trigger the anterior pituitary or the adenohypophysis to release a hormone. Now we know that hormones travel in the blood, and so the hormone that's going to be released from the adenohypophysis is going to go to the thyroid gland. And I know that's a weird little drawing, but the thyroid is narrow and very shallow in the front, in front of your trachea, and then it wraps around the trachea and it's more beefy on the outsides. Anyway, this hormone that's going to stimulate the thyroid gland is called TSH. Now, it's fine to abbreviate it when you're drawing it, but you have to write out all abbreviations so you know that TSH stands for thyroid stimulating hormone. That actually says hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone. Now, the adenohypophysis releases thyroid stimulating hormone, and then the thyroid will actually release thyroid hormone. That's a capital T, believe it or not, thyroid hormone. That's what this stands for. And you know from this chapter that thyroid hormone comes in two varieties. It is both T4 and T3 together. T4 is thyroxine. T3 is triiodothyronine. So when we say, we don't usually talk about T4 and T3, but if people mention that, they are talking about thyroid hormone. So if we release thyroid stimulating hormone, we're going to release thyroid hormone. So I'm going to give you a minute. I'm going to pause for just a second, and I want you to figure out which hormone is released by the hypothalamus to cause the release of thyroid stimulating hormones by the anterior pituitary gland. Did you say thyrotropin releasing hormone? TRH over here. Uh-oh, we don't want that. Hold on. Oh no, that's going to be on there forever. That's okay though. I can throw that out. TRH. TRH stands for thyrotropin because it is a hormone that acts on another gland. It specifically acts on the thyroid, the cells in the pituitary that make this TSH. So it's called thyrotropin releasing hormone. And recall that all of the control of the anterior pituitary or the adenohypophysis is done by the hypothalamus, and how the hypothalamus controls the adenohypophysis is by releasing a releasing hormone. If this TRH, this releasing hormone, is released into the blood, it says to release TSH. TSH is released, and then we release thyroid hormone. Okay. So often when you go to the doctor, they're going to check for your thyroid stimulating levels and your TH levels, your thyroid hormone levels, T4 and T3, etc. So this is not the negative feedback. This is straight up control of thyroid hormone release. What the negative feedback comes in is, how do we stop this? How do we prevent the thyroid from releasing too much thyroid hormone? Well, easily enough, the thyroid hormone feeds back onto the adenohypophysis. If the adenohypophysis says, oh, there's too much thyroid hormone, it's not going to release thyroid stimulating hormone. And it also feeds back negatively. It's going through the blood. So not only will the adenohypophysis experience thyroid hormone, the hypothalamus is able to sample the blood and figure out how much is there. If there's enough thyroid hormone in the blood, it shuts the whole system down. So that is the answer to question number 1 for your final exam. If you have any questions about this, it'd be great if you let me know before the final exam at the end of this chapter, but you can wait as long as you need for any questions that you have. So that's question number 1. We have a few more for this chapter, yes.